What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival. This is episode 31, and last episode we built this really cool little transport thing, and unfortunately it wasn't working by the end of last episode. It was working most of the way, but it just so happened to, like, every now and then try and fly, you know, up into space for whatever reason. So I modified it a little bit, and I think I have it working now. I just kind of re-recorded that path that was failing. So let's let it go on its merry way, and we'll just keep an eye on it and see what happens. So I'll do base A takeoff and see if that, yep, that's gonna fly off. Perfect. And I'll just kind of let it do its own thing. And we'll go take a look at it in a second to see if it's gotten where it wants to go. In this episode, it's gonna be kind of split. We're gonna be doing two things. We're gonna be expanding this base right here, this hangar right here. I want to expand it to include, since we kind of brought this out a little bit, I can expand it to about that far. To sort of encompass this area right here, and I think that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, we're gonna bring this out there so we have room for more ships and can give these things a little bit more space. And then the other part of this episode is gonna be working on the AMG Sandstorm, because it's been sitting here for a long time, and we've done a little bit of work on it, getting those guns back up, but I'd like to do more, trying to get everything back up and running and looking good. So we're gonna get the barista, we're gonna get over here with the welders, and we're gonna try to weld up all this stuff and make it look real nice. Hopefully, the end goal for that is that we'll have the AMG Sandstorm ready for takeoff. I don't know when, but you know, in the future, and we can take off with it. I would really love to go to Earth at some point in this series, and I don't know when that's going to be, but perhaps we can bring the AMG Sandstorm. That'd be really cool if we could kind of go over there with it. Hey, look, there's our Air and Transport Mark II flying around over there. Nice. And in fact, you know what? For a stress test, let's send the Gervaso Maniac as well, which still does not take off on its own for some reason. But anyways, yeah, we'll let those guys go. I think the first part of this episode is probably going to be the expanding of the hangar, because that's probably the easiest one. And then after that, we'll do the AMG Sandstorm stuff. So expanding the hangar, we're going to bring this stuff out. Basically, this column right here, how many steel plates do I have on my inventory? 60. Okay, that's fine. This column right here is going to go all the way out and become this column right here. So it's going to go up from there, and boom, that's our new column right there. What level is that? One more? Yeah, I think it's one higher. And then I can bring this over one more, because it looks like this is the level of the hangar. And then I'm just gonna copy this right here. I'm gonna bring this over just like it is right there, and bring this over as well. Just keep this going this way. And I think that's gonna integrate our little welder pit a little bit better. Which, by the way, I do need to set a button for the welder pit so that everything happens with one button. Currently, it's a bunch of buttons that you click, you know, one, then 1, 2, 3. But it'd be nice to have it all set up to just one button where you're like, click, and it goes and makes its thing. Right, so this, we're gonna bring up to about there, and then we're gonna bring over to about this other side right here. Perfect. Actually, you know what? Here's what I think I'm gonna do. Instead of doing what I was gonna do, which is just expanding the hangar, maybe I make like a second hangar right here, like a tinier hangar, a smaller hangar where I can kind of put the recaffeinator. That might work better. All right, I think we're gonna do something a little fun with this one. We're gonna be using these little hangar. This is not the hangar door. It's the gate. And if we do two of them sideways like this, it gives us kind of a 4 entrance right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, a 4 wide, and that's big enough for the decaffeinator, or the recaffeinator. See, recaffeinator's 3, and then a little bit extra. So 4 would be perfect. So I think we're gonna do that just for the sake of it looking a little different. Unfortunately, what that means is that we don't have a block in the center that we can kind of place the recaffeinator. We can't just place it like right there so it immediately comes out. But I think that should be fine. We can place it, you know, a little bit off the side right there in the center, and it'll just come out this way. And I think that'll be okay. What that does allow me to do is use this block for like styling, I guess. So I can do something like that, make it look a little nicer, make this column go down like that. And then I can bring normal blocks over here, all the way over here to cover this area. And I think that's gonna be pretty nice. Actually, you know what? I have another fun idea. Oh, the Air and Transport Mark II is coming back. Nice. Okay, if it makes it all the way back, I forgot to check on it like I said I would, but if it makes it all the way back, that's gonna be really good. Okay, so for this, I have a second idea. What if, instead of doing it like this, I take you out, take you guys out right here as well, and I bring them down 1. So bring all this stuff down just 1 block, down to about there. And then up here, I've got room to put whatever I want. So down here would be the recaffeinator sitting right here, ready for takeoff. I guess I could even bring it down one more. And then I'd have plenty of room up top. Yeah, I kind of want to try that. There we go. So I can have the recaffeinator sitting all the way down here. And then up here, I've got room for another ship, which would be kind of cool. That one I can make centralized, so it'd look like this. It'd have a normal gate like that, and it would fly out. Okay, so with that, even though it's kind of a little bit offset, and I wish it weren't, I don't think there's much I can do about it, though. All right, actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. Here's what I'm going to do instead. This is not going to be... I'm changing my mind a lot, I know. This is not going to be the parking for the recaffeinator. Recaffeinator is going to stay in there. It's always going to have this normal parking spot. I think we're going to make dedicated parking spots for the barista and for the what did we call this? I always forget what we call this one ship, don't I? The Coffee Grinder Mark 1. We're going to have dedicated parking spots for them. So barista will be down here, and the Coffee Grinder Mark 1 will be up there. So boom, barista, Coffee Grinder Mark 1. There we go. Okay, I'm not even using half blocks anymore. I'm just using full-on steel plate blocks because we have way more iron than we know what to deal with. So I've got the barista right here. I think I'll use it to weld this stuff up. All this stuff only really requires steel plates so far. So that's what I'm going to use. So let's grab in our build planner one of these. We'll grab one of these, and then we'll basically get a bunch of steel plates just for that stuff. Barista, what do you have currently in your inventory? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try to withdraw my stuff from the build planner. It's not able to get everything. Can I try again? Can I try again? Okay, there we go. I was able to get everything. And then in addition to all this stuff, I'll go ahead and grab another couple thousand steel plates. There we go. And that should be enough to build up the entire thing. So let's go ahead and press number 8. And we'll head out. All right, barista. Not a very long mission for you, but it's a good one. You're making your new home, which is going to be right there. All right, let's go ahead and get those welders out and get all this stuff welded up. It's always nice to make little base expansions. What I really like about a Space Engineers series, essentially, is seeing the base come along, right? It starts at like such a small point, and then over the course of, I don't know, 50 episodes, it becomes something that's unrecognizable from when you originally started. Okay, let's get these beams as well, which I might recolor. I don't know that I like everything being white like that. Nice, looking good. Looking good so far. Get that little bit right there as well, and this should be the roof done. All right, let's go down here, try and get a little bit of this stuff. And we'll throw in some windows here as well. I think I might even have some girders on me. We'll get all this stuff, and the window starts there, so I'll just carry on that window. Unless I want to, maybe I'll change where the windows are. Let me think about that real quick. I could bring them down one. That wouldn't be a bad idea, right about there. Have the windows start right there. Let's do the floor first. How about that? We'll do the floor, and then we'll figure out how we want the rest of the room to be laid out. And then we'll work from there. Oh, I saw something just fly by my head. What was that? Was that the air and transport? It was. Is the air and transport? Let me check on it real quick. Is the air and transport full? Oh, it's going fast. If the air and transport's actually going on its merry way. Oh, by the way, I put another seat on it. Let me just real quick. Boop. If the air and transport is actually full. Wow, it is. Nice. Okay, so it's operating autonomously. That is really good. That's what I like to see. All right, air and transport, carry on. Coffini base. We need to do a Coffini episode. I keep saying that. Maybe next episode we'll do a dedicated Coffini episode where we'll go back there, we'll add things to the menu, we'll upgrade the base, make it look nice, do everything we need to do at the Coffini base. Okay, you are gonna hang out here for a second. You got 64% hydrogen, so I'm not worried. And what I want to do here is, I'm thinking kind of like what it has already. Something like that and that. Maybe I'll block off that right there and just throw a little connector right here. And then we'll do the same thing kind of up here. All right, we'll end up doing something like that for the backing area. I think that'll look pretty nice. And then for For this, we can do a big window. Alrighty, let's start with what we have right here. See if I can get all this stuff welded up. I don't know if we can get that connector welded up. That'd be nice. Yeah, we're missing a couple things though. What I'll do here real quick is try and grab all the rest of that stuff for that, so that we can at least connect to it if we need to grab more materials. All right, we've got almost everything that we can weld right here. So let's go ahead and park the barista where we want to park it, which is going to be in this bottom spot right here. This is going to be the barista parking. And we'll back it up right there. And so that's going to give us a lot more room over here in our main hangar. So we can create new ships over there. We've got room for that. And we can also park the recaffeinator here without any problem. I'm going to probably remove these as well, since we have a full-fledged welding area right here. Doesn't make much sense to keep them. So Parallax Commander is warning us that an area is off limits again, like they always do every single episode. So let's get the coffee grinder backed up into here. And we do have enough space. We're just not great at backing into a tight space like this. Okay, I'm gonna have to finish up that connector as well. So let's do that. We do have a cargo container in there we can use. There we go. All right, and let's sneak our way over back to the cockpit here and see if we can get over there. All right, coffee grinder is locked. Okay, so now I can do some fun stuff with the interior of this now that I know where the ships are gonna be. And actually, I can do a cool comparison too. Looks like the coffee grinder is way bigger than the barista, right? It comes out quite a few more blocks, probably like 2 or 3 more blocks down here. And then in terms of width, it's also a little wider, I think, even. Do I have any girders on me? No, I do not. Let's grab a couple girders real quick and use those. So girder, grab 100. And what I want to do is I want to go to my windows and get some of these windows up here. So these are going to be 2x1s. We're going to put them this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll do another set right up on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Those are going to be our windows. How many girders do we need for these? Might be able to get all the girders in there actually. And there we go. That's going to be all the windows. And then for these guys, I'll just grab one and then control click it to grab enough for 10. And then we'll go through and weld up all this stuff. All right, there we go. It's completely enclosed now, which is good. So now what I want to do is I want to put some sort of way to get around up here. And we know that we have a block free right here that we can play with. Like none of the ships are going to come into contact with that block. So it's fine if we do some stuff with that. So what I was thinking is I could use maybe some of these right here. Or what if I do like this? A stairs going up right there, and then instead of having these, I kind of have an alcove right here. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. And it should still have enough room to get out, right? I think so. So basically if you come up on this side, you can come up over here, then you can access the ship via this if you want to, or you can go up to the next level, which will bring you up to here. All right, we've got catwalks now. A bunch of catwalks going up. It starts all the way at the bottom right there, and you can come up kind of where we had before, but you can also keep going up. Right here, we shouldn't be in the way of the ship. You can keep going up right here, and then at the top level, you can get onto this ship if you want to, if you need to do some like maintenance or whatever on it. All right, now comes all the welding. I'll do this all by hand because it seems like it'd be a bit of a pain to get the barista to try and navigate inside these areas because it's a little bit tight, but it shouldn't be too hard. Just right-clicking all this stuff, and I grab the materials from the little connectors. I can't grab them from there because that's not fully connected quite yet, but I can grab them from down here, anywhere near the barista. There we go, and it should be just one more right there. I'll have to grab this stuff for that, and there it is. Okay, let's make sure the top part is connected as well. Should be this block. So I know there's that one right there, but then on the other side, the flip side over here, there should be some more that I have to do. That one right there, and then this, which requires 10 construction components. It's technically built. I don't need these construction components, but I'm gonna put them in anyway. There we go. All right, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we now have like a room inside there that houses an individual parking lot for our coffee grinder Mark 1 and for our barista. So they need lights. What kind of lights do I want to give them? Why, inset lights, of course. All right, we now have 4 inset lights inside this room. So let me go in here, grab them, and add them to this room. There we go. Let there be light. And we have light now. Perfect. All right, the 2 extra hangars are now done. We now have them looking pretty good. Well, this looks like a big wall back here, but this right here looks pretty good. I like that look. And then this also doesn't look that bad. So we now have a lot more room for other stuff. And now I can also remove this. In fact, I don't think I'm ever gonna need this stuff anymore. Maybe I'll keep it because it's got a little battery on it, which has presumably some power, 20% of power. But a lot of this stuff, like the little welder right here, I don't need anymore. We can get rid of that. And these little welders as well, I don't need them anymore because we now have a full-on welding station. So it doesn't really make sense to have them. I'll put some normal blocks back there. It's gonna give us some nice space that we can use. Grab a couple of these. And this welder as well, I probably don't need. So after removing that, I'm gonna have to actually find another way to get this down there. So I'll do it this way. Okay, that should fix up that connection. So now we should be good. Let's remove that. All right, look how much less cramped this looks now. Just having a ship right there, and we have our other 2 ships just sitting right here. I think that looks pretty good. We'll close these up. Actually, one thing we're missing here would be air, right? So you know what? Let's get some air in here. There we go. Nice little bit of an air vent. And then when the doors close, it should pressurize. Let's sit in here for a second. Do I want to set up a timer? I guess you know what? I'll set up a little timer to handle the opening and closing of these doors. Okay, timer for that one to open, timer for that one to open, timer for the depressurize. Okay, I'm trying to find a way to logically pressurize this room when both doors are closed, but not when one door is closed and not the other. So the way I've found so far is to use lights, and it seems to be working pretty well. I have an event controller here that's checking that both of these lights are on. It's using an AND gate, so if both lights are on, it's going to pressurize this room here with the pressurization, and if any of the lights are off, it's going to stop the pressurization. So if I turn a light off, you'll see this goes to depressurize mode and starts pulling back the oxygen. And if I turn this one back on, you'll see that it starts putting back oxygen in the room. And same thing with this one right here. If I turn this light off, it will, oh, I think I did the wrong thing. I did show in terminal. There we go. If I turn the light off, you'll see it starts depressurizing. And if I turn it back on, it'll start pressurizing. So that's controlled by the event controller right here. It's basically checking that both lights are on. Here, I'll show you the logic if you want to see it. Block on off switched. It's doing both of these lights with an AND gate. So if both of them at the same time are on, it's going to set this to depressurize off. And if any of them are off, it's going to set it depressurize on. So that's the way I'm kind of thinking of doing this. And the reason I need that to happen is because if I close one door but the other door is still open, I don't want to pressurize the room. That wouldn't make sense. So that's not the complete solution. I still have to figure out how I want to do this, where if you press a button, it'll open the thing, but it'll depressurize first. I'm thinking what will happen is if I open the door, it'll just turn the light off. And so that the event controller will make this automatically start depressurizing, and then it'll wait a certain amount of time before opening. Okay, give me a second, I'll come back and I should have a solution to this. Alrighty, I've been working on this for a little while and I have it to a place where I'm kind of fine with it right now. It's not done, but the logic stuff that I wanted to set up is, you can actually see it now, even though it's kind of an abomination of timer blocks and event controllers. Essentially, here's what we have. So what I wanted to happen was basically when I open my doors, I want this to pressurize. I also want the door right there to become locked. So we want to lock this door whenever. Is that the whole reason I made this so complicated? I'm trying to think of why I made this so complicated. Oh yeah, I think the entire reason I made this complicated is because I wanted to lock this door to stop me from my own stupidity of opening into a non-pressurized area when one area. I don't know. In hindsight, I didn't need to make this so complicated, but I did. So let me show you what it does. Basically what happens is whenever you open a door, it controls one of those 2 lights. Those 2 lights are hooked up to an event controller down here. Which tells the room when it should be pressurized or not. Essentially, whenever one of those lights is active, it should, whenever both of them are active, it should be pressurized, and whenever only one is active, it should be not pressurized. So if I were to manually change this button, for example, to off, it would then start going to depressurize mode, and you can see right there, status depressurized, depressurize on. So that event controller right there is controlling that with those 2 timer blocks. Right. Those lights also control the status of this light, okay? So this light basically tells you if this room is sealed. So if any of these lights are off, that light will be off. So let me turn this one back on and you'll see that one turns back on just like that with the event controller. Okay. Now, what I wanted to happen is I wanted this door to be locked in a couple of cases. Actually, it's really only one case. I want the door to only be locked if one room is pressurized and one room is not. So you can't go into a non-pressurized room from a pressurized room or into a pressurized room from a non-pressurized room. Makes sense, right? So what I ended up doing is basically using these two lights. So that light tells me if that room is sealed, and this light tells me if this room is sealed. And if they're both on, then you can enter the room. And if they're both off, you can enter the room. But if only one of them is on, you cannot enter the room. Okay, and that's all done with this good old XOR thing right here. Essentially, the way that works is if both of those lights are on, this one will turn on. And if neither of those lights are on, this one will turn on. Okay? So by knowing that, I can basically tell this event controller that if any of these two lights are on, that room can be unlocked. So what we end up having is the state where, let's say that room is already unpressurized, which it is. You can see the light right there is off, meaning it's unpressurized. This room is unpressurized as well. Let's open the door just to give you that view. Boom, door's open, lights off. And the event controller tells me that, hey, now we can enter this room perfectly fine. Cool. Let's say this room is pressurized. I'm not gonna pressurize it right now. I'm just gonna mess with the light because this room's not really set up yet. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. I locked myself out. Okay, well, let me go on the other side. Okay, let's say that room is pressurized. Well, now, oh no, I can't get in. Well, I can get in once I pressurize this room. So if I close this door, you'll see that now I can get in. And the reason it happens instantly before the door is even closed is because the light is switched instantly. I don't have it on a timer or anything. So yeah, that's apparently why I made this complicated setup that took me like an hour to do. But anyway, there's that. What is this timer for? Did I ever set up this timer? Oh, okay, that's something I hadn't set up yet. I wanted the option to, if I have this button right here to unlock the door, like if it's locked, you just press it and it'll pressurize all the rooms and you can then go in, but I haven't set that up yet. And I'm not going to in this episode because I'm tired of doing this. We need to get on to our next thing, which is going to be working on the AMG Sandstorm. So let's go ahead and open one of our doors, or we can open both of our doors. It doesn't matter. We'll throw them both open there. And yep, okay, perfect. That was a good test. Let's go ahead and hop inside this guy, and I want to grab a couple materials that are going to help me with this build. So let's go to our weld cargo. It's like Wells Fargo, but it's Wells Cargo. So we're gonna look for this one right here, and we're gonna bring us a couple materials. Now, I don't really need these radio components. Maybe I'll just toss them right back in there. In fact, I don't need these either, but whatever. It's fine. So let's bring a couple thousand of those, and let's bring a couple more of those as well. That should help me do a little bit of repairs. Now we're a little low on metal grids, so I'm gonna go into production and tell it to make me a couple thousand of these. Yeah, let's make 10,000. Why not? How much cobalt do we have? My ingot storage right here for our cobalt. We have 800, which is how much are we about to use? Okay, it's not nearly enough. Got it. All right, we need more cobalt. And in fact, while we're working on that, I'm gonna tell it not to make me that many. Just make me like 200 more. But all right, anyway, we have the stuff we wanted, so let's head out and we're gonna have to get through this tiny little gap, but it should be fine. It should be big enough. It is indeed. All right, we're free. Okay, let's go and work on the AMG Sandstorm. So we're gonna be working on the front today. So we're trying to get this, hopefully this entire front done. And maybe we'll redo the cockpit because it never was really an interesting space. It was more just kind of like a cockpit, a boring cockpit. So let's go through this. Why is there a red light everywhere, by the way? I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, I don't know where the... Oh, okay, it disappeared. That was weird. Well, anyway, let's keep working on this. See if we can get this this entire thing looking good. And maybe we'll de-thaw the AMG Sandstorm as well. It's been icy for a very long time. All right, I'm kind of going in a circle here, but I think this is an effective way. Ooh, that's looking nice. Look at that front set of blocks right there. That's pretty good. Okay, for the rest of the episode, I don't want to touch a single another timer block or event controller. I was thinking I've been doing too many things with programmable blocks, right? So I wanted to try things with event controllers because technically it's all possible. I think you can do really a lot of things with those event controllers. the idea is if you can manage to make the logic components, like an AND block or an OR or an XOR or a not AND, or, you know, all those fundamental logic pieces, if you can make those, you can really do just about whatever you want. And I don't know if they're all possible, but I know that the XOR is, even though it's a little tricky, what I was able to do is determine if both were true or if neither were true, and by determining those two, you then know if one or the other is true, which would be an XOR. And then of course the and the or already work just from the event controller. So just with that, you can do quite a bit. Even though I took a class on that stuff in college, it's not stuff that comes naturally to me. All the logical operations. But anyway, let's continue this process here. This process of just welding. It's kind of like we're kind of sweeping the ship. It's like we're mowing the lawn. That's kind of what it feels like. We are mowing the ship, making it nice and sharp again. I mean, this has gone pretty well. Look at this. It is pretty sharp. Like, it's looking good. I don't know if I've missed a couple of components here. But, I mean, what I can do is I can come over here and add these. Is this all heavy armor? No, I'm using light armor here, so it's not even like an expensive thing to add this stuff back. And maybe on this side as well. I think I might be missing some of these. Oh, please don't crash. Okay, the game froze there for a second. Hopefully a Reaver did not decide to grace us with its presence. Okay, I'm gonna need to go back for hydrogen in a bit. But I can at least maybe do a little bit more. I can get these blocks welded for sure. And then there were a couple more over here that I wanted to try. The ones right here on this little nose section. There we go. Looking good. I'm gonna drag that right there, see if I can get a couple of that. And then I'm gonna head back into our little dedicated control area, our little storage bay. I will say it's a little tighter to get in here, but that's not such a problem. It's not a big problem, at least. All right, press number 8. We're gonna let this thing charge up again, and there are beautiful event controllers and stuff. All right, we're ready again. I think we still have enough storage, right? Cargo? Yeah, I mean, we could maybe use a couple more metal grids, but it's fine for now. And we have our PAM ships, of course, off in the distance, still doing their thing. You know what I haven't seen in a bit is the air and transport ship. I wonder what that is up to. We'll have to go check on it after we do this pass of the ship. What do I want to do here? What was this doing? I don't remember what I had here, but maybe I'll do something like that, because that looks nice. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. A nice little cover, so if you come up here, you don't get like immediately shot from the front. But you can still come around if you want to. Yeah, I like it. The side, actually this side's looking pretty good. I don't know that there's a lot that's removed here. That bottom part, there's some stuff missing. But no, it's looking pretty good, I think. And what is missing here exactly? I want to see what the other, maybe the other side has the stuff. No, not really. Okay, so we might have to try some things here then. Okay, so this will probably come this way. Probably do a block right there, and then this that way again. And then how did we have it here? Getting a lot of freezing. You know what I could do? This is something that some people recommended. Here, let me land the ship right here. Some people recommended this for the control room, and I think it's a really cool idea. And it's also going to help us get an idea of what was where on the AMG Sandstorm. So if I go over here into our control room, I think the only way to access it is from the top right now, because we haven't added the other connections. Okay, let that close. Let's hop in here. So inside the control room, what some people were saying was it would be really neat if and unfortunately I don't have like a central block here, but I can get something called a console block, which is this right here. And I can plop that anywhere basically. So here's what I'll do. I'll build 2 of them. One right here and one right here. And one of them will be turned off. This one right here will be off. I don't like that it says offline on it. Maybe I'll keep it on, but like not showing anything. And then I'm gonna get some desk blocks. All right, and with a little bit of space here, I can actually put these desks around this and make it kind of look like a conference sort of table, which is gonna look even cooler in just a second. All right, there we go. We've got a nice little conference table. So now what I can do is I can take one of these guys, console block 3, for instance. I can grab a blueprint. We'll grab the AMG Sandstorm. All right, and then we'll just paste that right there. So that's gonna show in a second, the AMG Sandstorm right there. Now, what I can do is I can actually go into here. Maybe I can use Build Planner for this. I can move this, give it a forward offset. Oops, let's not give it forward. Let's give it maybe horizontal. No. Move it right to the middle right there. And I'm also gonna give it a scale. So I'll bump up the scale to 3%. And I find this hilarious because you can play with your ships like, oh, there it goes. The AMG Sandstorm is driving away. Oh no, it's in reverse. There we go. And I can bring it, maybe I can even scale it up one more. Would that be too crazy? Or, oh, I can go to 100%, can't I? Let's go to 4, see how that looks. There we go. And now what we have is an AMG Sandstorm model, the original AMG Sandstorm, sitting here in the center of the table, and I think that's really cool. If you're sitting here, you can actually look. It's very nice because that little section that I wanted to see about, I can actually just come over in here and take a peek at what it was doing. And it looks like it does have that column block like I was thinking it does, and then it just kind of comes in over there, which is good to know. All right, I was wondering where the air and transport was, and well, there it is. Oh man, the control room looks so much cooler with that right there. Nice, it looks good. Okay, back to the AMG Sandstorm work that we were doing. So this, I believe we are correct in doing it like this. And then blocks come forward like this. So I'll put one right there and then forward like that. And then it kind of comes inward that way. All right, I added a couple blocks back right here where they were missing. So let's go ahead and add those back right here. Get those welded up and looking nice. And maybe we'll do the side as well, make it look a little sharper. This is like our sharpness pass. And we had the little drone hangar right here that we could potentially revamp it. I had been planning earlier in this series, I was planning to do like a bit of a drone thing, like use drones a lot more than I am right now. Oh, to be fair, I am using PAM quite a bit, and those can be considered drones, but I was thinking more like attack drones and stuff like that, kind of like what we did in episode 3 with the attack drone strike. But we haven't really gotten around to it. We still have all that stuff sitting there from when we were doing it, so I just need to find the time for it. And maybe that time is coming soon. I know I had meant to work on the front, but here I am working on the back section of the ship, of course. And I don't know how I came to this, but here we are, and I'm liking the way it's looking so far. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Parallax shadow spawn, that's what that was. As long as it's not a reaver. Okay, we have 18% hydrogen. Let's go ahead and head back. Maybe I'll try and get a little bit of this on the way. Okay, 14%. We really don't have a lot we can spare. So let's head back over here, get ourselves recharged with that hydrogen. And maybe I'll go into one of these, one of the old hangar slots since it's a little quicker. Oh, that was weird. The game crashed, but we're back. Everything is saved. We're all good. Hopefully the recording's fine. While the game was reloading and everything, I learned something. Actually, you can have setup actions inside a vent. I didn't know that was possible. If I go to vent, let me look at a random air vent. Yeah, setup actions. So I'm guessing that's pressurize and that's depressurize. I had no idea that this was an option, but that's actually really helpful. So if I were doing my light mechanism, instead of having this be like the sealed light, which it currently is, so if that's sealed and that's sealed, it turns on, I could just have this turn on the light. So if it's pressurized, the light's on, and if it's not pressurized, the light's off. That fixes things. That actually saves me some time. I'll rework with this with that in mind next time I'm working on it. But anyway, we're back here. We're getting ourselves some stuff, and do I want to get anything from the cargo? My welder cargo, let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll grab some of these. Maybe 500 of those, and then maybe a couple more of those. And what I also want to do, I want to look at things that are on this ship. And oh no, we're good. Okay, I was gonna offload some of the scrap metal that I got, but I think it offloaded itself because the refinery probably grabbed it. All right, let's head back to the AMG Sandstorm and continue working. Yeah, this side's not nearly as badly damaged as the other side. I guess all the attack came from one side. Must have been where they boarded. All right, I'm working a little bit on the bottom over here. Let's try and get this nice. And a lot of the ship is looking a lot better just from what we've done already. Top's a little difficult because if any Reaver attacks us, this is where they're gonna hit. So this area could get damaged again. Oh, I see a shadow over there. But the yep, that's the air and transport flying on by. That's good. The air and transport, unlike the Zerfossomaniac there, is doing its job. It's going back and forth with materials. It's being a model transport ship. I said I was going to work on the front of the ship, and here I am working on everything but the front of the ship. There's the back of the ship. I'm even adding new blocks back here. All right, I'm finally coming back toward the front, and I think we've done most of the top now. Looking at the AMG Sandstorm, yeah, it's looking pretty clean. There's a couple of dents over there still, but all the rest of it, even the top over there, is looking a lot better. I'm wondering if I want to change up how this top looks. I could completely remove it. We don't technically need this section. I do kind of like it though. Or I could make it skinnier perhaps. Or I could make it a little, I could change it up so it's like here. I think what I might do is revamp this section right here, because it definitely could be a little bit better. It takes it's very high profile. I'm thinking maybe I make a smaller cockpit on the right and then have this kind of on the left there, as well as like a little walking out section. That might look a little bit better. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I gut this section of the ship right here with the coffee grinder. I gut this entire section and then redesign this bit, because this has always been the bit that I thought looked a little weird, as well as the front. Maybe we'll redesign the front too. But I'm thinking that little section right there, we can definitely make look a little nicer. This for some reason has a recorder that is showing as, or showing on the HUD. Let me look at my recorders. Show on HUD, turn off. Okay, yeah, it was showing on HUD for some reason. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our coffee grinder here, press number 8, and we'll head on out. Okay, we bumped the side there, but it's fine. Do we have stuff in the coffee grinder, by the way? We do. We absolutely do. It should be fine. We don't have a crazy amount of stuff in here, so it should be okay. So this entire top section I'm going to gut, and we will redesign this. And that's gonna be, I think we can make it look nicer. That's why we're going for that. Wait, why can't Grinder 2 access my cargo containers? Which one is Grinder 2? You're Grinder 2. Why can't you access my cargo containers? Ah, that's broken, that's why. All right, crisis averted. Now the grinder can access the cargo container. Nice. All right, this section of the ship has officially been gutted, and I think let's bring in the welder and weld a little bit of this stuff up here, because there's a lot of this stuff that's damaged. And let's connect that right there. Number 8. Let's get inside the barista over here. It looks weird now, doesn't it, without that thing in the back? But I think we can do a little bit better than what it was before. Because think about it, we had that giant cockpit, and we were only using like one block for the cockpit. And granted, I'll make a nicer looking cockpit with the new console blocks that exist, but it doesn't need to be that big. All right, so if I take up about that footprint right there, I should be able to create like a reasonably small cockpit area that'll look pretty nice, I think. Maybe it would do better if I raised this up just one block, so it's about at the level it was before, kind of looking over like that. I think that might not be a bad idea. So if I were to do that, I would do something like that right there. And then I'd start plopping my blocks up there. So maybe I'll do that. Let's bring everything up one block. And in fact, the block directly under this is going to be heavy. The reason I'm going to do that is because you really don't like your control block getting destroyed out from under you. That kind of puts a damper on things a little bit. So we're not going to do that. All right, there we go. Now it's one block up like that. And so what we can do as well is potentially use, let me think how I want to do this. So we have new window blocks as well. If I go to window, we have these, are they the half window? No, they're the bridge. They're these ones, the bay windows. So I think this is kind of what I want to use here, if I can. Oh, that looks way dumber than I thought it would. I don't mind this look. The only problem is it being up on the stilts like this does not make it look good. So if I brought it down one block again, it might not be bad. Does that look dumber than it did before? I think it might look dumber than it did before. Kind of on the side. Maybe I need more time to cook on this. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Good? Bad? I don't know. I kind of want to make it look like maybe like an aircraft carrier one. So maybe I'll make it taller even. Or maybe I'll redo this side and make it go up. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this and what you think I should do to make this look a little better. I didn't like what I had before. I mean, it wasn't bad. I could always put it back if nothing comes to mind. But I'd love to go with something better. I'm just looking for new ideas. But around now is where we have to end the episode. I'm getting a lot of lag spikes. I don't know why. Maybe because of all the event controllers I added. We have this insanely complicated system over here that we added in this episode, and it's definitely not needed. We don't need to have this many timers, this many event controllers, but we do, and yeah. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you have any comments or suggestions for next episode, leave those down in the comments section below, and I will see you guys all in the next episode of Space Engineers Survival, where we'll probably do a Coffini episode. It'll be fun. See you guys then.